Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reshape the Soul. My name is NECA. I am the creator of Reshape the Soul, and I'm super excited to have my girl, TeNita, here with me today. As you know, I've kind of been talking about this issue we have with obstacles to walking in our purpose. And I want to be able to connect with people on that topic because I realize that the more I'm in this space, I'm meeting more and more people who feel they're called to a purpose, they're called to something greater, but life be lifing, right? And it continues to move on and present obstacles to us, yet we still have to be committed to walking in this purpose. And so TeNita's here with us today to share with us some of her strategies and some of her mindsets around what she does to get through, and walk through those obstacles. Now, if you haven't heard about TeNita, TeNita is a fantastic resource for the strong friend. She's here showing up for the strong friend, showing up for that one that might be always expending and putting out energy for other people, but then they can't seem to get that same return for themselves, or they overlook spending that time taking care of themselves. And so TeNita's here to share with us, and I'm just really happy to have you here. Thank you for agreeing to come and talk to us today. So TeNita, if you could just give us a little bit more about yourself and what it is that you do, we'll kick this thing off.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here today. And you pretty much said it. Like, I'm all things support. I'm all things a guide. Like, my name is TeNita Ballard, born and raised in Los Angeles, California, actually born in Watts. I currently live in Los Angeles. And I have always I think I was groomed as a young child to be the strong friend, the strong child. I'm the oldest of three. And yeah, it's something that I hate to say bled over, but it did bleed over into different areas of my life and relationships and friendships. And so I'm currently now, I had to go through some different obstacles. So we'll talk about them today to get to the other side where now I can guide women from being at a place of burnout, being of a place of tired of being tired because you're serving and showing up for everyone else. But when you look around, there's no one to support you for many reasons. And so I help guide them, help guide you to get to the other side of walking in your passion, your purpose, what fulfills you in life. So that's a little bit more about myself and who I am.
Nice. Yeah, that is so important. It's so needed. I think the more that we get into the space of trying to be, really to serve, that's when the issues rise to the surface, right? I think it's, when you're just trucking along and you're doing your day to day, you don't think about it. But a lot of us who are in, especially in the entrepreneurial space or that are feel called to a purpose, this might be an awakening that's happened post career choice, post moving into a career that we thought we wanted to be in. And so we may be double dipping. So now it's even harder to manage the energy that we have and the resources that we have to be able to do that 9 to 5 or be a mom and also, stay up late to work on your passion and, all these kinds of things. So it's really important. And thank you so much for being in this space and helping us to see that, hey, you need to take care of yourself and check to see if you're a strong friend. So I just wanted to ask a few questions about how you got started on your journey with, what was it that put you on the path and on this journey to actually helping the strong friend?
To help the strong friend, I think it was years of showing up for everyone in my life. It could be on my job. I'm a diversity, equity, and inclusion leader. So I'm advocating for people with disabilities, veterans, the LGBTQ community, and the list goes on. Serving on my job, serving in my sorority, serving in my church. When something happens in a family, I'm one of the first people that people go to. Serving in my friend group, like, hey girl, what you like? They call you, and I'm already ready to like provide a solution. And so being at a point where I'm a server, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel validated. But I had to start looking at why was I serving? And that's when I had to realize everyone is not my assignment. So, and that was a tough pill to swallow because I found myself time and time again being in situations where I needed people or where I felt that actually I had to take a step back and say, why was I showing up at 115% for everyone else? But then when it came to TeNita, I gave it a good 40%. And it was
Ooh, yes.
because I was validated by being the strong one. I was validated when they called. I was validated because I felt like they needed me. So then I had to dig to the root and take a step back and say, well, why am I doing this? Because I didn't love myself, because I had low self-esteem. So really that title validated me and who I was at that time.
Wow, that is incredible. That's an incredible self observation, is to really try to figure out what's my why and why am I doing this? And oh, that's so good, because it really helps you understand whether or not it's something that you should continue to be doing, and how you need to address it. So
yeah, and it took me a long time to get there, and a lot of bumps and bruises over the years.
Yeah, I could imagine. But that's so important, just that having that self-awareness, and to be able to ask yourself that question. So you kind of answered the next question. I'll throw this one in because I think this can also be part of the issue with a strong friend. Do you feel sometimes called to more than one thing, or that you might feel like you need to have your hands in multiple things? And maybe that's also part of you, feeling like I'm the strong one, and so I can take on, multiple things. Did you ever have any of those kind of feelings, like I can handle this, I can handle X, Y, and Z?
Well, I'm a high achieving, multitask, wear many hats. As women, we do. Mothers, wives, sisters, caregivers, advocates, the list goes on. But with that, and the women that I help, all of that is fine. All of that is wonderful. But I want you to realize, and I had to realize for myself, that TeNita was the priority. TeNita had to show up for me first so that I could serve others and so that I could show up for them the way that I needed to. And when I say everyone's not my assignment, I had to take a step back in some cases, like, okay, God, what do you want me to do in this season? How do you want me to show up?
Oh, that's good.
Do you want me to help this person? Because at the end of the day, you can actually be a hindrance to someone if you're always being there, always helping them. So now it's kind of like a God complex. Like, oh, I'm the one that did this. I helped it. Everyone's not my assignment. And so,
I was just going to say, I love what you said about the season, right? There, you do have, yes, you are multi-talented and you can do all of these wonderful things, but it may not be the season for you to do them all. It may be a season to do this one over here, and then the next season you're doing that one over there. So I love how you point that out in recognizing when it is your season to assist or be a resource in that particular area. So didn't mean to cut you off, but that was great.
It's fine. And it also goes back to the why. So why was I showing up balancing 150 activities? I was running away from me. Pre-pandemic, I was planning the events, going to the galas, advocating for people, moderating the panels, going to the events for family, friends, on and on and on. But when I got home, even sometimes going to the event, talking myself up, and then driving back. And it's like, I was literally running from myself, being so busy.
Wow, that's powerful. So then you had to realize, you know what? I'm doing too much. I'm just doing too much.
Doing too much. When I was sick and I found myself in the hospital and I said, how did I get here? Like,
let's park right there, because I think that's part of the wake-up call that no one wants to get, but sometimes we're running, and boom. Can we just kind of Talk a little bit more about that.
Yep. So 2018, so it probably was like 2017, a little bit, 2017, 2018. I had a growth on my neck. So it was the size of a grapefruit, and it wasn't all the way out. It was kind of like in my throat as well. But I started to notice like my neck on one side was getting larger. And so I ignored it because, like I mentioned before, all the things pre-pandemic I was doing, I was too busy serving everyone else, showing up for everyone else, that I was neglecting TeNita. And it wasn't until my beautician sent me a text. I was driving to work. She saw a picture that I posted and she was like, "Hey, TeNita, like, what's going on? Like, I'm concerned." And when she saw that, I felt exposed because previously I was wearing like crochet braids. I was trying to wear bigger hair to hide it. At the end of the day, literally hiding in plain sight. Like, I was hiding from myself.
Yeah.
So in that process, she caught me out, and she did it in love. But for me, I was driving to work and it literally caused an anxiety attack. Like, I was like, "Oh my God, is everyone seeing it? What's going on?" And then so I called my job, took off, went to the hospital, and they did a biopsy to see if it was cancerous. Thank God it wasn't. And so they said, "We're just gonna monitor it. We'll let you see your regular doctor, move on." So time kept going. I didn't follow up. Like, I got right back busy. Like, oh, that anxiety, you get a warning.
Yeah.
You get a nudge.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I ignored it because for years I've been used to showing up for everyone else and ignoring TeNita. So it kept growing, where it was a point where actually the growth didn't bother me. What bothered me was laying in bed at night. When I was laying on one side, I was like it was like it started affecting my breathing. And I was like, okay, I'll turn to the other side. Because what was I doing?
Forever fixing stuff.
I'm used to, because guess what? I can't go to the doctor right now because I need to launch X, Y, and Z. I need to do blah, 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 because the to-do list is ever growing. So with that, I got to a point where I couldn't ignore it, like the sleeping at night, the growth, it got uncomfortable with my breathing. Went to the doctor, they drained it again, and then they said, okay, let's do x-rays, let's check it, make sure it's not cancer. And it wasn't, but I needed to have surgery. And so I'm at the point of having surgery. And when the doctor, before he gave me the anesthesia to do the surgery, he said, TeNita, I'm concerned because the growth is the size of a grapefruit. And he was like, I'm afraid that if we give you the anesthesia, it'll block your windpipe. And he was like, and if it blocks your windpipe, you're going to need to wake up with a tube in your throat. So I want to let you know so you're not alarmed when you wake up. I literally remember laying there and I'm like, how did I get here? A tube in my throat? Like, how am I here? And thank God, once again, when I woke up, I didn't have the tube in my throat. But for me, it spoke volumes spiritually. Yeah. I was speaking and showing up for everyone else. I had a growth on my neck, my throat.
Wow.
Stop it. I wasn't speaking up for TeNita. I wasn't showing up for me. And that's when I had enough.
That is wow. That is so the symbolism of your voice for yourself gradually, slowly being choked out by this growth in your neck. And what a wake-up call to what you need to do for yourself. Stop. No, don't turn to the other side. Don't say, ooh, it's causing my breathing, it's interfering with my breathing. Let me flip over to the other side. Isn't that what we do though? We automatically think, let me fix something. Let me do something to fix it temporarily so that I can continue on with this other thing that I'm doing. When it really could be that really huge pause that we need to really stop and take care of ourselves. Wow, that's really a powerful story about, just how that was the thing that really said, okay, I need to really focus on myself. Um, so let's get into the obstacles, because that right there is quite the wake up call to say, okay, there's something that I need to do. And you've talked about how showing up for other people really became kind of a point of uh, agitation for you, where you wanted to show other people that, wait a minute, we need to stop and take care of ourselves. What keeps you moving forward in the face of any obstacles that you might have come up against while trying to now get this message out to women and serve women in the space that you're serving in them in?
So after that, I had to really work on my mindset.
Mhm.
And working on my mindset, there were some things that I had to acknowledge. Laying in the hospital, how did I get here? I needed to ask myself some tough questions. I got a therapist. I had a
Mhm.
life coach. Um, God is first, but He's given us resources to help us. There's coaches, therapists, doctors that He has created to help us. And I had to get to the root with a lot of different things. Why did I feel that I was validated by what people said? I dealt with people pleasing. I had poor boundaries. And so I mentioned earlier that I love to serve. I think that's one of my gifts. I actually know it is, because I can serve at a very high capacity. But in that, who was I serving? Was I serving for people to say, good job, TeNita, or am I serving to please God? And so with that, it's to get into the root. And so I had to deal with things. So now today, right now, even when a situation comes to help people, and that's sometimes you'll hear me say the recovering strong friend, because
Mm.
naturally my first thought is to serve. But every day after, it's like, TeNita, TeNita's the priority. What does God have for you to do in this season right now? God, do you need me? Like, where do you need me to be? And so that slows me down to being so quick to say yes, to trying to people please. And I'll do that, yes. Then I look up my calendar's book and I'm doing busy work, but I'm not getting anything done. I'm not effective.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the recovering strong friend, there's going to be some question and some things that you're going to need to do to remind yourself and ask yourself, are you in alignment? Are you where you need to be right now? And that's what the acknowledgement. So dealing with the mindset, that's dealing with the acknowledgement. Why were you doing what you were doing? It's not going to turn off tomorrow. We've been doing things for years. And then get into the root. Who's helping you? Do you have a coach? Do you have a therapist? So that's where I started. And the
Nice.
M is the first stage of my like foundation, my module. And I have like, it's MAP. So it stands for, M is for the mindset, A is for acceptance, and then P is for practice. It's literally a map. I love to travel the world, just
Very
a
nice.
coincidence. But
Yes.
the map is things that I had to work through and I've helped other women work through so that I can get them to the other side of that pain, that unfulfillment that they don't talk about. Because TeNita
Yeah.
was showing up at a high level. I was not missing a beat. But if you
Eh,
took the time to,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I love that recovering strong friend,
mhm,
because in and of itself, that speaks of a process, right? And
yes,
that it won't be something that happens overnight. You didn't develop that strong friend mentality overnight. So you're not going to flip it overnight either. And just being patient with yourself, but also implementing, like you said, that strategy, using that map that, like you said, what you've created, to be able to gauge your recovery, right? Can't just talk about recovery and not really do some work toward it and really
yeah.
be able to measure, what you're doing. And so I love how you point out that it is also a recovery process for you as the strong friend, because like you said, also having the gift of helps, or being able to assist people, that is a gift. That is a literal gift from God. And so, but we do need to take time and take care of ourselves. Even Jesus went and took time to himself, during his ministry, after healing and saying, this, that, and the other, doing all this, that, and the other. He also took time to go away and be by himself. So I really do appreciate you pointing out that recovery piece, because it really helps, the listeners understand that, wait, just because you are gifted with it, it does not mean that you should burn yourself out. And so you can implement a strategy to really create some balance in your life with it.
Yeah, you could be using the right gifting in the wrong field. You could be using the right gifting in the wrong season with the wrong people. That's where that slow down.
Yeah.
God gave us the gifts. I did a post a couple of weeks ago, and I bring this up is because I said, I'm no longer moved by the applause. For years, I showed up for the people in the audience, and I was like, how did I do? What did you think? I'm no longer moved by the applause. I come, I show up, I say what he has given me to say, the best of my ability. I rely on him. It's about him. Because if we get caught up on the applause, I had to fight to get to this point, to come battle against people pleasing. I was hanging on there every word. Did you like it? And this, trying to please everyone. So with that, like you mentioned, the gifting, you have to make sure that you're using your gifting with the right people. And when I say the right field, that's what I'm talking about. You can have a skill set. Are you at the right job? Have you been there too long? Like, it's relationships, friendships. Like, sometimes we got to get up and go. And sometimes God will isolate us. And that's what we have to, like, my mama can't do it for my mama. Loved me. I know that woman loved me. I love her too, but she can't do it for me. Yeah. You can't do it for your sons. Like, you're a mama. Like, mamas will take the hit, like a good mama.
Yes.
Which I know you are, but at the end of the day.
Yeah. We can't do it for them. We can't do it for them.
Even as a coach, we can't do it for our coach. We can't. We can give you every tool, every story. We see the warning signs, like, don't go. And so, well, that's not me.
Yeah. I just want to go right back to real quick what you said about I no longer show up for the applause, or that is an obstacle within itself. that need for, and the people pleasing. And I will say that was definitely one of my obstacles. When I finally said, I don't care about, like, I really have to almost create a little bit of a block against whether or not I see people responding, because they may be responding and not showing you they're responding. But when you get in the mindset that I'm going to serve because it is what I want to do unto the Lord, unto God, and I want to serve the people because I care about the people, then it really does help to, move that obstacle out of the way. But when you said that, I just thought about, well, that's one there, because when you're only performing for the applause and you don't hear applause, then what are you going to do? You're not going to move forward. And I think that is one of the things that we run into as women who are called to serve and do something in the entrepreneurial space. And we get that imposter syndrome. It only feeds that imposter syndrome when we don't hear the applause, but it doesn't mean that we're not providing the service that needs to be provided. And so I just want that to be an encouragement, as well, that recognize that could be an obstacle that you're facing, and to create some strategy around that as well. So awesome.
That, can I add one thing for the audience as well? Is when that time comes and people give you a compliment, because I know that's something I dealt with as well. When people are like, oh, you did a good job. Really? Well, I did X, Y. Take the compliment. celebrate the wins, acknowledge yourself. And it's not getting caught and hanging on to their word, but be able to accept a compliment. Know that you did a good job. No one's perfect. Like we're showing up the best that we can, but God is so good that we have everything that we need right now. Like he has given us what we need. We just have to show up and rely on him. And that's the part where it's like taking your hands off of it. Thy will be done. Like literally,
that's so
because I
good.
do not know some of the rooms I've been in. Like, why am I here? Like,
How, right. How did I get in this room? How did I get here? Yeah, because I know that people are tapping you on the shoulder that you may not have, you didn't initiate contact with them. You're just serving, right? And that's kind of the purpose of this whole conversation is, you know, the obstacles will come, but your purpose is your purpose. And it takes a decision for you to walk in that and really being able to say, I'm going to continue to move forward and push forward in walking in my purpose, even though there are those obstacles. And some of those obstacles, a lot of those obstacles are in here.
And you hit on something, being tapped because you serve. You want to show up. And when you said that, I thought of, you need to protect your gifts. Everything is not for everybody. So, mind you, battling the people pleasing, showing up as a strong friend, my identity, each time you get to another layer, you think you arrived and it's something else. I found myself in entrepreneurship when it came to giving services away for free. Like, like helping people run through, do this, do this, do this, do this. But was I taking my own feedback? Was I showing up for myself? And it's funny when other people have, when they need things, they offer, it's a price tag, it's a ticket, get on my books, my schedule. But I wasn't moving that way because I'm a server. I like to help and get things done. But in that, you need to be able to protect your gift, protect your heart. Because everyone doesn't serve the same God, serve at the same level. And so, yes, you're being tapped, but once again, I want the two things that keeps coming up for me is the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? And then don't be so quick to move. Take a step back. Even if it's the opportunity of a lifetime, like, you know what, can I have some time to think about it? Can I pray about it and give you an answer? Because it may, in your head, be the opportunity of a lifetime, but is that what God has for you? So it's caused me to really take step backs and not be saying yes to everything because I was so used. So it's protecting yourself and protecting your gift.
Yeah, and I hear those boundaries there because we are in November.
Oh, I like that.
And so I have really been seeing a strong push for exercising your no, because it really does matter what you get involved with. When you purpose means focus. It means eliminating some of the things that you shouldn't be doing so that you can concentrate on the things that you should. That in and of itself is going to create some space for you as a strong friend. I would imagine that it's like you said, everything and everyone is not your assignment. It's not, you're not here to save the world. But you are here to do some great things in the area that you're here to do your great thing in. So really, really great. Love this. So I want to ask this final question, and just really kind of dig into what keeps you going. So why was it important for you to keep pursuing your purpose despite obstacles you face or may still face? Because we still alive, so they're going to still come. Hello.
Exactly. Hello, somebody.
Yes. Okay.
What keeps me going? It's that nagging feeling in the deep down inside where you know it's more. In the past, I was waking up out of discomfort. I was waking up because I couldn't sleep. I had so much to do. I didn't have enough time to put TeNita on the list. Now I'm waking up because it's messaging. How does he want me to pivot? Okay, what am I doing next? Should I be doing this? And so with that, it's like getting a structure in place, knowing that it's a season to build, plant those
Yes.
seeds. I've been planting for years. So now it's time to, when I say I have everything I need, I've signed up to programs, I have coaches, and they have given me things. I started modules, I start and I stop, and I'm like, get distracted because I'm helping you.
Right.
I'm trying to be friends with you. No, take it, TeNita. What do you need to do? What is your purpose, your calling? What do you need to be doing right now? And so for me, I know that there's more. I have big vision, and it was playing small. It's comfortable to be in your little space because it's safe and it feels good. But that stretching where you know, like, okay, what do you need me to do? Okay, let me write a list and make sure I'm being strategic with the gifts, the gifting and the talents that he's given me, because I don't want him to come back and be like, yeah, you did it at 100, but I needed you to do it at 1,000,000. But I'm scared of 1,000,000. But TeNita, you just said you're no longer moved by the applause. Because you can get distracted. You think people aren't watching, but then when they talk to you, they can spit your information better than you can spit it. And I just like, so.
Oh, you were listening. Okay.
I had people tell me my segments at work, like, yeah, because you have veterans, API. A lot of people wouldn't know what API is, Asian Pacific Islanders. So
yeah.
I'm like, oh, you have Asian Pacific Islanders, you have this, you have that. I'm like, oh, they're looking at something, like something hidden. But if I was distracted by, well, I don't have the likes, or I don't have this, and I don't have that, what you think is supposed to look like, you can, you're still effective. So it's being able to pivot when he says pivot, move when he says move. And so for me, even my story working in corporate America during the pandemic, I started season to a T, and that's how we connected. That was my meal prep business. I'm naturally a good cook. I cook for my family all the time. I saw a need. It was an opportunity to serve, and I started to do it. Also allowing me to pay homage to my grandmothers, who both served in their community and were great cooks and homemakers. So started doing that. Then it was still like, there's more. Okay, I bring comfort to the strong friend by feeding them physically and spiritually. The physical piece was food. Spiritually was the message that I had. Then I was like, I don't really want to cook all day. I don't want to have a restaurant. I still have a job. How am I going to balance this? Great, getting into speaking and coaching. I've been a speaker for years on my job. Then coaching, that's also a part of my job. I love to serve and love to help people. So you have to be open to the evolution of your gifts and your talents, because you have to be open to the evolution of your gifts and talents. I thought season to a T cooking, I'm a good cook. That opened up a door for me to serve here, there, get in a program for speaking with Patrice Washington, how we connected, then moving over to branding, a branding cohort, moving over to an entrepreneur cohort. It's like boom, boom, boom. Each one is taking me to a new height. And I'm like, okay, well, if I get in this one, I don't want to create the cookbooks. I don't want to do this. At a point, I thought that's what I wanted to do, but then you need to be able to pivot. It's still serving, it's still showing up. So when I said it's to protect that gift, at the end of the day, service. When I was cooking, I prayed over the meals. God, I pray that you cook, like literally over the people. Like I really wanted it to bless them. And we were going through a dark time. It was the pandemic. So that's still serving, showing up.
And it might have been what was needed at that time.
At that time, seasons.
The seasons.
Season to a T, sprinkle.
Season to a T. I love it. I love it. Yes. Well, it has been amazing talking to you today and getting all of these nuggets. Look, You have to be open to the evolution of your gifts and talents.
That's a quote card.
That is
Like
right.
that might be the
I'm
title or something.
expecting, look, ma'am, I'm expecting to see that on your Instagram by
Uh-huh.
10:30 today. Yes,
Uh-huh.
because that is so, it helps you move in purpose. And maybe some of the obstacles you're facing at the time when you're walking through purpose is an indication that it is time to pivot, like you said. It might be time. I was listening to a sermon recently, and it was like, God was saying, hey, stop. Why are you still mourning over the thing I rejected? Fill your horn with oil and go. Oh, okay. Let me get my stuff, because there is a time and a place for everything. And that is so what you talked about with season to a T. We're in a pandemic. A lot of people who may have been shut in, or whatever the case may be, maybe needed meals. They maybe needed those meals, and then those meals, those blessed meals, are a gateway into their home of the blessing that you're giving. So look, look, ma'am. That was so powerful. So tell us what you're doing right now, what you got going on, where can they find you, where can they connect with you? Give us all the goods.
Perfect. So you can find me at www.coach-TeNita, and that's COACH. And my name is spelled TENITA. So coach-TeNita.com. That's where you can find more information about me, who I am, and what I do. You can follow me on Instagram at TeNita Speaks. I also have a YouTube channel, and that's where I'm encouraging the strong friend, encouraging women, men. And my Instagram is not Instagram, my YouTube is at TeNita Speaks as well, or you could just look up TeNita Speaks there. Yeah, that's who I am, where you can find me. Currently, right now, I have a boot camp that's getting ready to open in a few weeks. It's actually the Redefine the Strong boot camp. It's with myself and two other coaches, Takara and Navasia. And so we are going to do a 6-week boot camp to redefine what strong looks like for the strong friend. We talk to the strong mother. We talk to the strong woman. We're talking to the strong one that's used to showing up for everyone else in their lives. So we're doing that boot camp. We have that coming up. And then also, if you go to my Instagram page, you can click the bio, and I have some upcoming events as well. Feel free to connect with me, send me a note, follow me, like, subscribe, all of the above.
All of the above. Love that. So amazing. Again, thank you so much for being willing to come and share your nuggets with us. Definitely, like I said, that one right there, and then there's some other things you said too about getting in a structured place. Just so many good nuggets. I know that people will want to play this and replay this to kind of get all those nuggets again and again. Thank you so much again for being with us here at Reshape the Soul. To everyone, look, your obstacles are going to come, but your purpose stands. It does not go away. I know you might have even had an experience where you said, gosh, I just want to be normal. Can I just be normal? But it won't go away. It won't be quiet. It won't quiet down in your soul and in your spirit. So this is really, I wanted to encourage you to continue to push forward in your purpose. Don't let the obstacles stop you, but maybe you might need to pivot. Just be able to pivot and do what's right for you in that season. So with that, I'll say thank you again for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.